Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Cafrello here with your literacy lesson for Thursday the 21st of January. Okay, so in your literacy books, I want you to write today's date up at the top, Thursday the 21st of January 2021. I want you to misalign, write today's learning objective, which is to find features, miss another line, and then do your subheading for your SPAG. So pause the video and you can do that now. In SPAG today, we're going to be looking at apostrophes for possession. We looked a little bit at this last term. Okay, so apostrophes are a little bit like commas, but instead of coming at the bottom of the words, down on the line, they come above the words. And possession means something that belongs to you or somebody else. Okay, so apostrophes for possession, that's our SPAG today. So let's have a look first at singular nouns. This means when there's just one thing. So for example, there's just one lion, one monkey, or one vet. So that's a singular noun. They're just common nouns and they don't end in an S, so we need to add an apostrophe S. So the lion's den, lion, apostrophe S, den. It's the den belonging to the lion. The monkey's ropes, monkey, apostrophe S, and that's the ropes belonging to the monkey. The vet's medicine, vet, apostrophe S, and it's the medicine belonging to the vet. Okay, so that's singular nouns when there's just one thing. Plural nouns is slightly different, so if there's more than one thing, so a group of children, a group of teachers, or a group of lions, that's known as a plural noun, okay? And because plurals already end in an S, all we need to add is an apostrophe, okay? So we're not adding an apostrophe S, we're just adding the apostrophe. So the children's school trip, that's the school trip belonging to the children. You do the apostrophe at the end after the S. The teacher's Zoom call, the Zoom call belonging to the teachers. And your apostrophe comes at the S after teachers. The lion's enclosure, the enclosure belonging to the lion. The apostrophe comes after lions. Okay. So if it's a singular noun where there's just one of the noun, such as a lion, you need apostrophe S. If it's a plural noun where it's a group of things, so more than one thing, so a group of lions here, it's lions with an apostrophe, no S. However, if your noun ends with an S, regardless of if it's singular or plural, it only needs an apostrophe on the end. So for example, octopus ends with an S, but there's only one octopus, so it's a singular noun. But because the noun ends with an S already, we only need to add an apostrophe. So the octopus's tank would look like this. Octopus with an apostrophe, we would not need to put another S. The class's assembly, the class is a plural noun, it's a group of children in the class, but because it already ends in an S, we just need an apostrophe, not an apostrophe S. So your first task today is to have a think about where the apostrophes will go in these sentences. So Mild says, we went to see the giraffe's tall house. So have a think about what is the noun, and what is belonging to that noun? What is the possession? Spicy says, Jess loved looking at the animals' habitats. Hot says, the zoo's gift shops were full of lots of different teddies. Okay, some of them are quite tricky because there's a few words that end in S, but remember, they're not all going to need an apostrophe. You're looking for the nouns with something belonging to it. Okay, so pause the video and write these out now. Okay, so when you've had a go at adding the apostrophes, let's see how we've done. So mild, the apostrophe would go here. because it's the tall house belonging to the giraffe. Okay, but because it's just one giraffe, a singular, it would go here. Spicy. Jess loved looking at the animals' habitats. Okay, so this is habitats belonging to animals. Animals is a plural, so there's more than one animal. So it already ends in S. So the apostrophe would come at the end here. If you've got that right, well done, give yourself a tick. Hot. The zoo's gift shops were full of lots of different teddies. This one is quite tricky because there's lots of words here ending in S, and it's quite difficult to work out what the noun is with something belonging to it. Okay, but it is the gift shops belonging to the zoo. So zoo is the noun with something belonging to it. And because the zoo is only one thing with lots of gift shops in there, the apostrophe would go here. Okay, so give yourself a tick if you got that right. Well done. Your book should now look like this with your first bag task done. Give yourself a tick if you got that right and get ready for task 2. So here's task 2. Gosh, can you write a sentence including an apostrophe for possession for this photo? I don't think I'd like to see that gorilla at the zoo, would you? Okay, so some ideas I could think of were this. The gorilla's big teeth scared the children. Okay, so it's the big teeth belonging to the gorilla. So the apostrophe goes here, an apostrophe S, because there's only one gorilla. However, if your sentence was going to be about the children, because there's more than one child, the children's screams were heard around the zoo. Okay, I've actually got this wrong. The apostrophe would go here, not here. Okay, because the children's is more than one, your apostrophe comes at the end. Okay, so see, even if I can make mistakes, it shows you that it is quite tricky. In your book now, I want you to have a go at task 2. See if you can think of a sentence about this photo using an apostrophe for possession. Okay, so we're going to look at some other people's campaigns today based around keeping animals in captivity. Okay, so the first campaign we're going to look at is by a lady called Selma Temitope, and she's a zoologist at London Zoo. And she's done a campaign for keeping animals in captivity. So she says, first, let me introduce myself. My name is Selma and I always dreamed of working with animals. I studied for 5 long years to get to where I am today. I studied zoology at the University of Leeds with a specialism in monkeys and primates. I want to share with you my campaign today, and that is to keep animals in captivity. Although I understand other people's opinions on animals being released into the wild, I do not agree with this idea. The care that animals get in zoos and safari parks is astounding. Did you know that £3.5 million is spent each year on ensuring all staff are fully trained in how to care for the animals effectively? Animals in captivity have specially created habitats for them to thrive in. For example, lions are given larger enclosures to ensure that they can roam and explore. Penguins are given icy areas and large pools to imitate their natural habitat. It is just as good, if not better, for them to live in these habitats. Some people may not agree with this, but there are no threats to the animals who live safely in the zoos. Whereas in the wild there are predators waiting to attack and often kill these poor animals. I have worked in many zoos and I have only ever seen people showing so much love and care for these animals. Chester Zoo staff have won many awards due to their professionalism in caring for these animals. George Mottershead, the man who founded Chester Zoo, made it his lifelong mission to ensure animals in captivity were well cared for, happy and safe. Why would you want to take that away from the animals and send them back to the wild where it might be unsafe for them? Okay, so that's somebody who wants to keep animals in captivity. The next one is by Jessica Sanders, an animal rights campaigner who lives and works in Manchester. And her campaign is for keeping animals in their natural habitats in the wild. And she says, I am here to talk to you today about my campaign to ensure all animals are kept in the wild. No more innocent creatures should be snatched from their families and put in a cage for our enjoyment. Can you imagine being a poor defenceless monkey? One day you are enjoying a large forest in Borneo and the next minute you are thrown into a small cage for the rest of your life. Barbaric. Yes, I understand that people have different views and that is okay. However, I am concerned that people do not know the facts and that is why I am here today. Zoos say that they are helping animals to ensure their species does not become extinct. However, some species are still dying out in our zoos and safari parks today. I understand that zoos can offer medical care for animals in need, but these animals have survived for thousands of years without human intervention. I strongly believe that the best place for animals to live is in their natural habitats. Natural habitats offer unlimited space, plentiful food sources, and the opportunity for animals to breed and expand their families. I am not saying that all zoos should suddenly close. That would not be fair on the animals. Imagine the penguins' surprise if they were suddenly released onto Britain's beaches. If zoologists really cared about animals as much as they say, they would gradually release each animal back into its natural habitat for it to thrive and enjoy a good life. I know that is what I would do. No animal should be treated unfairly, and no amount of zoologists' care can make up for an animal missing its natural environment. Please take further steps to consider boycotting zoos and safari parks. I urge you. Okay, so these are two contrasting campaigns, so that means different and opposite. Okay, and this is similar to the campaigns that we're going to do. But today we're going to be looking at the spag features that these two ladies have used in their campaigns. Okay, so looking at Selma's, let's see if you can spot a question. So using the printouts that you've got in your pack, have a look now at what you've got. Get your pencil and let's see if you can find a question. So when you've found it, you can underline it with your pencil. Then see if you can find a proper noun. Okay, so a proper noun is the name of a person or a place. There's quite a few proper nouns here. Okay, so Selma, Temitope, they're proper nouns. So their names beginning with capital letters. University of Leeds is a proper noun. There's Selma here again, her name, another proper noun. Let's see if you can find a verb. A verb is a doing word. So pause the video and have a look. See if you can find a verb. Studied is a verb. That's something that Selma has done. Okay? And an adjective, a describing word. See if you can spot one. So she describes her studying years as long. Okay, that is the adjective. So stick your sheet into your book. Okay, and you're going to underline the spag features that you managed to find, and with your pencil you're going to write them down. So when you've found a proper noun, underline the proper noun, draw a nice straight line coming from there, and write out proper noun, and the same with the rest of the SPAG features. You only need to do the SPAG features for the campaign that you agree with, so if you want to keep them in captivity or not, but your challenge is to do the opposite one too.